What's up, confessors and ready to love Potomac fans? What is goody? It's your girl. I know I should have did this Friday or yesterday, but I've been busy. There's been a lot going on. I actually did go live with PO. I believe it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. And it was so much fun. I have yet to upload it, but I'm gonna do it. But let's get into it because this episode was some shit. Woo! Now, they left us on a cliffhanger, 2 weeks ago. So we finally back and we got to see the conclusion of everything that went on between Dakia and Eric. And it was very unfortunate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just play the audio and we gonna see what's really going on. Okay. There was an incident between Eric and I don't want to have contact with him at this point. I think that he needs to do some reflection and growth. Hope y'all can hear it. Away from me. Okay. I no longer want to date him. I thought that Eric was somebody that I can actually see a future with, but one moment changed all of that. I was hanging out with Eric and a couple of the other guys. Eric asked to take a picture with me, and so she was with all guys. Me and puts his arm around my waist, and I make a joke like, "All right, we got this old school prom picture pose going on." And Eric is like, "Watch this. This ain't no high school prom picture pose." And he comes and gets very physical with me. I'm a lady and don't touch me that way. So he's just not ready to love me. But maybe not even anyone else right now. But that's for him to figure out. I'm still open to this process to find connections with other gentlemen. It just so happens that Eric is not that man. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk to him. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that was that. And I don't know what y'all think about that. So apparently they were all out. It is said that Donovan is the one that took the picture. What I have learned is that, and others have now learned this, that something was actually going on between Dakia and Donovan at one point. I don't have permission to say the backstory that I know about this because another castmate told me in confidence, and I don't want to break that trust or bond between him or her. So I'm going to keep that confidential. I'll just say this. The kid was trying to get Donovan at one point, and Donovan really wasn't receiving it. And it was almost a situation, it's unfortunate when people don't, kind of get their way and they go out of their way to try to make it happen, but it don't work like that. I don't know the whole thing, so I'm not even going to speak no more about it, but let's go ahead and listen to what Eric had to say when he spoke with Tommy.
It's a mixture of emotions, pain. I don't feel good at all. Right. I don't, Tommy. So listen, I heard from the kid. She had a few things she put on me. And I just kind of want to get your perspective, your story. Yeah, so me and the kid had a conversation. And I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings. And I found out that I hurt her feelings. Okay. And that was never my intention to do. The kid and I, we have an amazing connection, but she felt like I did something that's disrespectful. We were at this event, and we decided to take some pictures together. So I'm on our ways, then I'm moving up, to get like a more of an intimate, cozy type picture. And she does say, don't do that. So hands down. But it was a horrible situation. The way I moved hurt her, and I don't want to cause any pain to anybody. So I want to do a little bit more self-reflecting. What does that mean? At this particular point, I'm not ready to love anybody right now. I think I'm going to bow out and figure out when I'm really ready to love. I appreciate the journey. I really appreciate you, man. You're definitely like a happy space and like a peace. So it's always good to talk to you about these things. But let me tell you, I commend you on just being a man and stepping up and realizing, okay, I'm not ready for this. Let me get myself together. And a lot of times people come in this process and they're not together. You know, it takes a lot to stand up and say, you know what, I'm not ready like I thought I was. It should take a lot of men to do that. I don't want to hurt anybody. There clearly needs to be better communication, something that I need to work on. And I want to make sure I'm that person for myself and whoever I continue a journey with in life. And keep going. Yeah. Keep going, man. We fall, we get back up, we keep pushing. I'm not ready to love yet. And that's okay. Good luck to you, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. All right.
So yeah, so Eric bowed out gracefully. Um Actually, I do feel like he was ready to love. I just feel like he's the type of person who doesn't like, doesn't like the feeling that they have when they hurt people. And especially, you don't want to be looked at a certain way now from the other women by one woman feeling a certain way. You know, I feel that he just could have not had any communication with Takia, and I feel that he should have stayed ready to love, because I would have loved to see what had happened more between him and Carmen, because they were really about to get it going, it seemed. And what you didn't see on their date is, you know, a, a lot of beautiful moments happened on their date that wasn't even shown. And that's very unfortunate. And I don't like that. I really don't like how will do that, painting a certain narrative when all we want to do is see the real authenticity. And that's why the fans love the lives so much, because there ain't no editing that OWN can do on the lives. And even though they tried to stop them from doing so many lives or saying certain things, these are real people trying to find real love, and y'all just making it whatever they want to make it, which is very unfortunate. So after Eric gracefully bowed out, I guess everything was okay now. Which, I mean, if a woman doesn't want to be touched, don't touch her, period. But however, I feel he didn't have to leave because of this, and I wish he wouldn't have. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So we got to see some dates, the exes, the X files. We got to meet the X got to meet the next, and it was what it was. So Joy and her ex, with Sean. Yes, Joy and Sean. This is Joy's ex, Sean, and she let Sean meet Clifton and Laverne, as you see here. Laverne looks cool. Clifton comes in, shakes the hand, and everyone seems to just be kumbaya. So, it seemed a little bit rough at first with Clifton and Sean. See, Clifton ain't about this life. He ain't trying to do these damn meet the exes. What's the point? He said, ain't nothing an ex can tell me about her that, gonna help him in his relationship with her. He just wanted to see the one who let a good one get away. And that was the same way Vern had felt. But Vern was very much more animated, and Clifton just was like, okay, yeah, I'm here. We're gonna get this over with. I came, but let's just get this over with. Laverne is very competitive. He was saying stuff like, okay, we leave, you gonna let her know who she picked, which one you saying. Like, Vern, calm down. He was like, I got the Cash App and all this shit. I was like, he is doing the most. But Vern is such a character. He truly, truly is. That's all I can say. But it was pretty nice. They shook hands and everything was Gucci between them. At the end of that, he had told her, Sean had told her that um Laverne seems cool, whatever, but he was more like to have fun with, good time with. But Clifton is more of her speed or whatnot. But however, um, it's something that she needs to look out for. It's take risk. It might be a risk being with him. But Joy was like, he ain't no risk there, because this is the type that'll jump off something mountaintop or roof or bridge or whatever, and I jump with them, and that's all good. So it's just like Joy is like just ready to just get to the end and seal the deal with Clifton. Poor Laverne, he ain't got a chance. It's just not gonna happen. But that was a pretty good date between them. I will say that. Then we have Carmen and her ex, and he is gorgeous, might I add, and I love her necklace that she is wearing. It says "powerful" on it, and Carmen is really about empowering women, and we don't get to see that about her really on this whole entire season. For what I've seen, she's more like the villain type, and that is not her. Her, when she is on live, she is cool. I have DM'd with her a couple of times, and she was cool, and she's about that life. But her ex is Marcus, Mr. Marcus. And look how they holding hands. I'm like, is their chemistry still there? She said they just friends, but he's also her ex. Just friends. Just friends. So yeah, he met Paul, and he also met Donovan. And that was a pretty interesting date between them, because he asked questions to let him know that she is always around celebrities, good looking men and women, and y'all got to be able to handle that. um he asked Paul what he did for a living. He was a software analyst. I should have took a clip picture of that one, but the face that Carmen made when he said that had me rolling. I was like, "Oh Lord, what's that face?" A software analyst saying good shit. It sounds like you make some good money off of that. So I don't know what's to be ashamed about or what the cringe was. But of course, that may have not even been the face Carmen made when he said that, because be manipulating the hell out of this shit. They good for that. They're definitely good for that. But yes, so that was a pretty good date, I guess. At the end, he said that Paul seems a little bit soft spoken, but Donovan seems more of her speed, basically. So I was like, okay, whatever. And yeah, so that was pretty much that for them. And the next date was, oh Lord, Ace and her ex, and I believe his name is Devon. It needs to be Devon because he is fine. This man is just gorgeous. Them locks do it for me in every which way. I swear to do. He is a good looking man. I mean, Jesus. Whew, yes. Ace, girl, honey girl, why you break up with him? Y'all both seem very intuitive and about that spiritual life. And I love that inspired tattoo around his neck. Like, you could grab me right there if you wanted to. Lord Jesus, but let me get back to what's at hand. So, I don't even think I have any pictures of him even shaking hands. Oh, maybe I do just one. Yes, there he goes, shaking hands with Tori. Tori was there, and also Laverne came, but I don't think Laverne even shook his hand. He just came and sat down and got onto it. He was ready to get his over with, I guess. But he asked him questions and everything, and Laverne was doing a little bit too much. He was talking about every time she steps in the room, she get my room boiling. I take my ginseng. I gotta check my pants when she's around. I mean, just over the top extra. Laverne being Laverne, so you can't expect him to be no other way. He is really just. He seems like the life of the party when you go out with him, and he seems like the one that cuts up the most in front of the friends. But yeah, pretty much it was a good day when he asked Tori questions. Tori responded very well. And I'm like, he passed the test. He understood the assignment. So it was all very well. I just can't stop looking at this man. Just Jesus Christ. Oh, Ace, I got to know what happened with that one. Why? Why? And so then we see Sabrina's ex, Milton. He comes onto the scene. You know, I love a man in a suit, and he's very handsome and attractive man, Milton is. Yes, honey. And yes, that smile. He has a beautiful smile. I will give you that. But yes, so he came up on the scene and met Tori, but this is not the picture. I believe this is a whole. Yeah, this is when she was with Tori at his, because he went met. Yeah, I can't even speak. He met Tori and Donovan at the same time, and then he met um Demetrius solo. Had a solo day with just Demetrius. Um yeah, so here's my thing about Demetrius. He asked her, how would it go if they say one thing, he says the other, he says don't do it, and he goes ahead and does it anyway. Is that gonna be a problem? Demetrius, how is that not a problem? If she said no and you go do it and you gonna say, is that a problem? Hell yeah, that's a problem. That's a big ass problem. Like, what type of shit is you talking about? So I'm like, you know what, that was a red flag for me. How you just gonna say that? It didn't go well with me. But then um, yeah, so when Tori came up onto the scene for the date with him and Donovan with the ex, Tori came acting like he was cool, calm, and collected, even though he was feeling some type of way about him and Sabrina's last conversation. It is pretty rocky, and I think he knows that, the bonding is great or whatever. And he's like, you got a connection with Donovan, you got a connection with Demetrius, and you got a so-called connection with me. Like he said, that's too many connections for him. He can't even do all that. And so he is still definitely feeling some type of way. And I do understand that, because that ain't even cool. But he smiled, he did his thing, he was cool. However, he didn't ask any questions. And Serena was like, you like missed a great opportunity to ask questions. That kind of dropped the ball. But then Donovan showed up, and this is everybody looking at Donovan when he shows up. But look at Tori. He's like, this motherfucker trying to come in. Like, I got enough problems. You trying to add them on. It was the looks for me. He made several looks. Look at him. He's just like, I'm not feeling this. If that really say he ain't feeling this, because I think this is a picture when Donovan was asking questions, and he was hitting him out the park with his answers that Milton was asking him, and Tori looked like, you slick motherfucker, like, you really, 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 like, just gone somewhere. But at the end of that, I believe he said that there's some things that Demetrius has to work on, which is true, because when Demetrius said that, I was like, what? That was a red flag. But he said that Donovan would be the one that is what she's more looking for at this point That'll take you to the mountaintops. You know what I'm saying? To the mountaintops. Oh, Jesus. So then Tina had her date with BJ as her ex, and he met Paul. Yes, he met Paul, and who else did she meet? I believe she also met. I want to say I don't know who else. I cannot remember who else he had met with them because I don't have no pictures of who else was there. But Paul was there, and do I want to say Donovan? No. Or maybe it was. I can't remember. But whatever the situation was, oh, it was Demetrius. It was Demetrius. And yeah, because her and Demetrius had their date last week and it seemed a lot better than it was. But when he came in with her, it was still one of those things like, Demetrius, I don't know. And she saw the red flags there too. And I don't think that's gonna work either. Demetrius is not gonna end up with anyone at the end of this. I honestly don't think so. And I believe he's going to be eliminated, if not next time, but next time after that. Because I just am not seeing it with him. His need for to take domination over his woman is just not going to cut it with these women here. These are women who are successful and went in their own way. They are not trying to have a man trying to take possession and ownership and tell them what to do or go and do his own thing even if he don't appreciate what they have to say or how they feel about the situation. So that's just not going to cut it. So then the last date was the kid's ex and Terrence. Look at that look. This is the look he gave when Clifton came in. Now Terrence only met Clifton. He didn't meet no one else. After Eric went home and she decided she didn't want nothing to do with him, Clifton was her only hope. I mean her only other possibility that she liked or whatever. So she let Clifton meet Terrence. And Clifton was not holding back. Look how he touching her. It was not. It wasn't the breast, at least. So I guess that's okay. The knee is okay, but she was engaging in the physicality of it. Clifton did not show him any love when he came in, but this is him when he left, and he did show that love. But yeah, that whole flirtatious moment they had going on was extreme for me, but ain't nothing happening. Joy is the one, and that's all that matters. This was just a filler or something to do. And I believe soon Dakia might be the next woman to go after this, if you ask me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because it will be a woman's elimination next week. So then it came to um eliminate the man for this episode. And this was Zakia and Tori having their talk, after the girls had deliberated and she was responsible for taking Tori out and letting him know what everything goes or whatnot. And they had never had a date before one on one. So this was their first time having a date, and she was like, "Okay, I'm seeing him in a different light a little bit. He looking kind of sexy over there." No, Zakia, he is sexy. Quit playing with me, girl. So y'all know Tori is my number one, and that man is just everything to me. He is so gorgeous. That's all I can say about that. But they had a pretty good dinner and everything. They pretty much just talked and got to know each other a little bit better than they ever had before. So I could appreciate that. However, the ball dropper was when Sabrina had to go to Laverne and let him know that he ain't ready to love. But Vern already knew that he was the one that was getting eliminated, not ready to love. because he was told, and you can just hear the whole thing. Let's listen to it. So it's one, two, three. It's three different audios because they broke it up in between Sabrina telling him he wasn't ready for love and Dakia telling Tori that he still is ready to love. So the first one is 48 seconds, the second one is a minute and 11 seconds, and the third one is a minute and 23 seconds. So here is here is the first part.
Before this day, I got the wind that the ladies are coming after me. Sabrina, Carmen, and Christina had a plan to vote me out. Like they want to break up Ace and I connection, and they're really gunning for me. I thought it was very disrespectful, so I came in a little hot. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get up to give him a hug. He's like, I'm not gonna hug you, and I was like, oh, and like. I don't know what the hell's going on right now. I already know what this is about. So I'm not gonna make it awkward. But how are you? Hold on. Can we at least talk real quick? This was very Sabrina. Can we at least talk? Because when we greet. We do greet. No, really, Vern? I love.
He didn't even want to dap. I was like, dang. I was like, really, Vern, too? Like, you came in hot. He really did come in hot. He wasn't playing.
I just really want to act like this. Act like what? Like this. This is so ugly. What's ugly? This is ugly. Energy that you walked up them stairs with. Couldn't give me a hug. I don't dislike you. I have never talked bad about you. Well, I heard a lot of other things, so I'm just saying. Learn. If you would let me speak, I could tell you how it went. You know, I heard about the little plan that you guys had to vote me out. So we just gonna go ahead and say I'm not ready to love, not with you all. I want to walk out. Really, Vern? Yes. Really? You, Carmen, and forget Tina. That's not how it went down. You all made this plan back last week. No, Vern. To be honest with you, Vern has been a non-factor in my journey. So for him to think that he's that important to where someone would want to actually plot against him, it's like, boo, you're not even worth it. But that's not the truth. Just say that's not the truth. I said it's not the truth. I said it's a lie. Okay, I don't believe you, but there you go. I'm genuinely hurt by the way you're acting right now because I thought we had more respect for each other than what you're demonstrating right now. Like, this is, I'm blown away right now, right?
That was a lot. Like, he was really on one. He really came to say what he had to say. And it escalated just a little bit further on the last third audio. Here we go.
Never ever disrespected you, but you disrespected me tonight, and I am so mad. No, I'm so mad.
She was pissed.
No, you know what you did. Yeah, you don't get cursed out. You don't get cursed out. Okay. It was the tone. It was the over talking. It was the accusation. It was just like he really came in there to try to punk me and make me feel little, and that is why he's not ready to love. The only reason why I had you in my bottom is because it wasn't romantic. Okay. And that's what other people said. And you want to sit here and accuse people of like conspiring some massive scheme to get you out. Like, you need to get over yourself. You need to get over yourself. That's what it is. You need to get over yourself. I have to remove myself. He could have bowed out with so much more grace than he did. He just seemed like such a little petty, spiteful man. It didn't have to be like that. In that case. I'm not apologizing. I won't her no apology. What did I say to her? She cursed me out. He's sitting here accusing him. This whole dating process is not for me. I've been dating for 44 years. It haven't worked out yet, so I gave up on it. This is my last really try. But now that you're no longer part of the process, you will have a chance to prove your connection with Ace. Yeah. I mean, that's the way life is. You win some, you lose some. You know, me and my dog, we just gonna be it, and that's it. We just gonna roll.
Him and his dog, Lord mercy. So yeah, so Laverne was eliminated, and usually when the person eliminated is the one who leaves and walks away gracefully. Sabrina was so pissed off, she was like, "Fuck all of this, I'm out." And she left. Laverne stayed there. He enjoyed his drink, and he was like, "Whatever." Y'all the one who playing with me, so I ain't about to leave. I'm about to enjoy my drink. But it's very unfortunate that now we won't be able to see if anything develops between him and Ace, which is really messed up. Ugh, whatever. So at least that means that, probably Tori and Ace will end up together if they do make it to the end. Who knows? But we'll just have to see. But next week, the girls get to meet the friends of the men, and we will get to see um Phil from DC because he is Clifton's best friend, I believe, or is it it's Donovan? He is Donovan's best friend. So we get to see Phil make his little debut on this season, which is very cool. I love me some Phil. Well, who don't, right? Well, I know one person who don't. But we ain't gonna talk about that. No, no, no. So I hope y'all enjoyed um this review. If you did, please like and subscribe to this video. And please make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And please make sure if you want to be considered a MVP confessor, I love my confessors. Please follow me on Instagram, right here, right here. Um, yeah, so that is pretty much it for this episode recap. I hope you enjoyed it and y'all be good to each other and be blessed. I'm outie.